You know something? It's not every day when you have 3 cards in 8 days, 3 UFC cards in 8 days to that point. And it's not often that you have 2 former promotional champions from different organizations competing together, especially at heavyweight. But in this case, we have the Pitbull, Andrei Arlovski, former UFC heavyweight champion, taking on Monstro, Philipe. And this is a guy that won the inaugural season of the PFL at heavyweight. This is a guy before that had competed at 265, but mainly a light heavyweight. He lost 2 in a row in Bellator. The last one to Vadim Nemkov, pretty recognizable name. Fight, yeah. And then he just comes into the PFL on a whim, and I say on a whim because, hey, it's a chance to really prove yourself in a division. You're going up a weight class. Maybe you're a smaller guy. I mean, you can see that the last time he weighed in at 234. But, oh, by the way, he went on a clean sweep, beat Alex Nicholson, Jared Rochold, Sio Alencar, and Josh Copeland, the Cuddle Bear, and finished all of his opponents in the season. So all of a sudden you go from 10-3 to 14-3, big promotional champion. You're $1 million winner, prize winner. So money's not as big of an issue, but it's always an issue for everybody. But he's coming in here and he's going to be taking on a former training partner, like a guy. These guys see a lot of each other at American Top Team. It's not like, you know, there's a ton of heavyweight fighters that train there. But these two guys are going to be really familiar with one another. And Andrei Arlovski is just that spry veteran that he's able to beat fighters. And even in the fights that he loses, and I mean minus his last fight against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, but a lot of them, they're relatively close. And he can have some moments.
He loses by knockout a lot.
And some semblance of the old Andrei Arlovski. There was a little bit where when he was fighting Junior Albini, when he was fighting fighters like that, where his boxing looked like, hey, this is old Andrei Arlovski. But it just really pains me to say that, yes, we're not where we used to be with Andrei Arlovski. I don't know what to expect in this fight. I mean, I know the odds are really close. Like, Philipe Lins is coming in here a minus 125 favorite. Arlovski at like a plus 125 in and around there. So the odds are fairly close. What do you expect here?
Andrei Arlovski's in this really weird point in his career where he doesn't really have the knockout power that he used to have, but he has really upped his volume, and it's not that he's going for TKOs in the way that a lot of other heavy volume guys are. Guys like Max Holloway come to mind, or Nate Diaz, for instance. He goes volume, and it frustrates his opponents so that they don't throw back. And it was kind of an interesting strategy that he has adopted because it's well known Andrei Arlovski cannot take a punch all that well. And that's not something that's new due to age. It's kind of been the story of his whole career. I don't know if Philipe Lins can take advantage of that to full effect. I think it is going to take him a few rounds to really get the hang of it. That's why I could see this being one of those kind of classic Andrei Arlovski split decision fights where it's really close by the time it's over and you don't really know who wins. I think both guys are going to have really good moments, especially like you said. They're so familiar with each other that they are going to kind of know each other's, little secrets and whatnot, little tricks that they use. I think all that considered, though, Philipe Lins, his striking accuracy and his hand speed is going to be a really big problem for Andrei Arlovski. We've seen Arlovski, anytime he does fight a really big power puncher, it does not normally end well for him. I mean, think Stipe and Ngannou, Arlovski, or Stipe and Ngannou, Overeem. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, I understand those are all, the top tier heavyweights in the world, but it's kind of the same case no matter what. If you can hit him clean, he's probably going to go down. And I feel like Lins over 15 minutes is going to be able to hit him at least once.
And I mean, Philipe Lins, right? Like, he goes in that 4-fight tear, all of them finishes, but you're beating a different slew of fighters. I mean, Alex Nicholson's good at one thing. You fight Jared Rochold, one of the better wrestlers at 265 pounds, and a really big guy for the division too. Okay. And on and on and on until you're fighting Josh Copeland, a guy who is known as a power puncher, and you're able to outlast him, finish him in the 4th round. Now, you're not going to get that with Arlovski, of course, the 3-round fight. But for Philipe Lins, the other thing, coming back off an injury too. I mean, maybe he rushed it when he thought about coming back in 2019. It didn't happen against Ishii. Now we get him in the cage in the UFC octagon as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what we get in this fight. I'm going to be agreeing with the crowd. I'm going to be agreeing with the odds makers here. I mean, Lins over on Topology at 208 votes. Over 80% are picking him to win, and they're also predicting him to win by knockout. I don't know if I go that far. I think in terms of a decision, I'm going to be taking Lins in that regard. But it should be a good fight. It's a really interesting fight, and especially when you get 2 training partners fighting each other. You never know what you're going to get, but you will know what you're going to get. From Fight Night Picks, we have picks for 3 cards in 8 days, 2 minutes for all the prelims, 5 minutes for our main events, and in some cases, the co-main's going to get 5 minutes as well. We have a title fight between Dominic Cruz and Henry Cejudo, so make sure you check those out with Fight Night Picks, Matt. And as we always say, let's get into it.